Hi. Our subscriber sent us her story. As far as I understand, she is not particularly interested in anyone's opinion. She knows what she is doing and is confident in herself. So we listen and envy. But we still write comments.
I want to share my story, so that by my example, everyone can see what happens when wives forgive their husband's adultery. For many, of course, my story, it is already lived period of life, and for some, I hope, a reason to think. And my story is this. I met with a 46-year-old married man. At that time I was 26, and his wife 34 years. We worked together, and we had an office romance. Yes, you read that right, I was the mistress. His wife could not have children, and maybe for this reason there were no feelings in their family, but just a habit. At least that's what I thought at the time. Soon I got tired of living like that. I wanted stability and certainty. So I forced him to make a choice, either me or my wife. And I don't know why, but he chose me, much to my surprise. He left his wife and we started living together in a rented apartment. It was one thing to just date and another thing to live together. We had a hard time, we started fighting, and in general, we didn't get along. We are adults and, of course, assumed it would be like this, but we decided to check it out anyway. He tried, by virtue of his age, to teach, to educate, what to do and what not to do. And I was used to freedom and independence, maybe age also played a role. In general, I did not like his tutelage. At one point I could not stand it, and said that as his wife I will never be. And if he is not satisfied, he can go back to his wife, which, as I understand, everything was satisfied. He didn't think for a long time, packed his things and left. His wife forgave him and accepted him. I was worried, I was, for some reason, ashamed and disgusted. But a week later there was a knock on the door, and he was standing on the threshold again with a suitcase. It turned out that he left his wife again and came to me. I missed him and, without thinking, let him in. We lived with him for about a month. After that we had a big fight and he, not thinking long, packed his things again and left. And she let him in again. I decided not to tempt fate anymore, in turn, moved to another city, changing my phone number. I wanted to start a new life. I rented an apartment, got a job, and everything seemed to be fine, but something was missing, or rather him. I missed him, I missed the passion we had. A month after we broke up, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. It was him. I don't know how he managed to find my new number. He started the conversation from far away. He asked me how I was doing, what I was doing, how I was doing in my new place. Anyway, we talked. But then he apparently dared and said that he couldn't forget me. That he couldn't do without me. And I missed him, too. I missed him. But at the same time we both realized that we couldn't live together. We had already had the experience. We had a long talk, We thought about what to do. And we settled on the same thing: we would be just lovers, as before. Each to his own and together at the same time. It suited us both. He's a wonderful man. I feel good and calm with him. He's in love with me, and I'm not far from him. It's a pity that he has no children, or he would be a good father, and a husband too. My wife found out about our relationship and filed for divorce. Now he lives alone. And I live alone. We see each other every day, but then we go our separate ways. Many people will say that I'm a bitch, ruined the family, and I don't live with him. I agree with you, and maybe I am. But you know, I'd rather be a mistress, but I will never go with noodles on my ears and believe the fairy tales of a man who will put horns on me.
Thank you for listening to the end. Subscribe, like, and send in your stories. Bye.